Let's pause for silence. Om. So we'll start the study of chapter number 6. It's called the middle path. Page number 137. I repeat, chapter 6, the middle path.
Chapter 6, The Middle Path. Examine life. Life is defined as a series of experiences known in Sanskrit as Anubhavadhara. Experiences flowing one after another is life. When the flow stops, life is extinct. An experience, therefore, is a unit of life, just as a brick is a unit of a building. They, in effect, constitute your life. If they are happy, you're happy. Likewise, if they are unhappy, you're unhappy. As your experiences, so your life. Thus, if you wish to better your life, you must better them. An experience is constituted of two factors. You, individual, the subject, and world, the object. When there is a contact between the subject and object, between you and the world, there arises an experience. And the stream of experiences is life. Therefore, life equals you plus world. Hence, bettering life would mean bettering both its components, improving the individual and the world. If both are developed properly, one would be in heaven, live in perfect peace and bliss. If just one of the components is developed, one would go through bouts of pleasure and pain. And when both lack development, one goes through hell. Hell and heaven are therefore subjective, a mental phenomenon. They are not geographic places as popularly misconstrued.
Perfect. So there are 6 topics in this chapter. Examine life. So we read first 2 paragraphs from this. We'll come back. Second topic is called action and peace. How they should coexist or they have to coexist. Third topic is survey your predecessors. To learn or not to make mistakes from their experiences. Fourth topic is the negative trait. Topic 5, scrutinize your person, analyze your inner personality. That's what it means. And the topic 6 is keep to the middle path. Now, coming back to the first topic, examine life, it is extremely important for you to understand the thought flow here, because it's explained so well. People ask this question, why do we need Vedanta? Should I study Vedanta? So he explains the reason for doing that and where Vedanta fits in. So life is described as Anubhava Dhara. Anubhava means experience, Dhara means series, stream. So life is nothing but series of experiences for all of us. If experiences are good, pleasant, our life is likewise. We are happy. If experiences are not happy, then we say we are not happy. It's a combination. Sometimes we are happy, sometimes we are not happy. So that is point number 1. Now, therefore, if you want to improve your life, if you want to have a happy life, you need to focus on your experiences. And if you dissect a unit of any experience, one experience, if you take as a sample, you will find that there are 2 components to that: you and the world, individual and the world, subject and the object. So when you, the individual, the subject, contact the world, there is an experience. So therefore, if you want to have better life, better experience, pleasant life, happy life, you need to work on both components. Are you getting the thought, please? Extremely important. You need to work on yourself. You need to improve the individual, and also you need to improve the world. So if you neglect any one component, then the growth is lopsided. So if you just go on improving the world, but individual is not taken care of, your inner personality is not taken care of, then any amount of external improvement is not going to make you happy. Or you just go on improving the individual and world is in a terrible shape, still you will be unhappy. It's like a food. To enjoy food, you have to have appetite, and food also should be good, isn't it? You may have all the appetite in the world and food is salty. Now, who will eat that food? Isn't it? So both components should be there. You have to have the appetite, and food also should be good. So similarly, you have to have that appetite for life, meaning you should have that capacity to contact the world, because you have taken care of your personality, and also simultaneously you have improved the world. Then you have a perfect life, you have a happy life. So you need to attend to both. If only, I'm repeating, if only one component is developed, it could be individual or just the world, then you go through ups and downs of life. There cannot be any consistency in your happiness. If both are not developed, then it is hell on earth. That's the definition. World is in a mess, you are also equally messed up. I mean, what happiness? I mean, there are some people like that. But good many people, as far as this forum is concerned, see, we are relatively well to do. Nothing is lacking in our life. I mean, I can't think of a single person who can say, I don't know from where my lunch is going to come from. In fact, to be honest, our problem is excess food. It's not lack of food. So all the basics are taken care of for us. I would say slightly surplus. Then why we should not be happy 24/7? I'm not saying you're not happy, but are you happy? Ask yourself this question. So why it is happening? If not, if there is no consistency in your happiness, if there is no cheer, peace, harmony in your life, what has gone wrong? So that's what is telling us to examine. 2 weeks back, I read an article. Somebody shared an article with me. A CEO of a company, turnover could be whatever, like $200 million or $300 million. It happened in the Bay Area. He killed his family and he shot himself in his 40s or late 30s. And if you look at his, that's what the article said. He had 45 patents in his name. Throughout his life, he studied on scholarship. He's a brilliant guy. He had all the money in the world. He had all highly successful. So why did he kill himself and his family? So can you understand the state of mind? So you and I also may have some disagreement with our family members, with a spouse. That doesn't mean you shoot your husband or a wife. What must be his state of mind? So externally, everything is perfect. Fascinating article. He had 10, 15,000 square feet house with a swimming pool and everything plus plus. But internally, he was totally messed up. So when we look at such examples, real life examples, we understand what is he saying. So therefore, both components need to be improved. World has to be improved. It goes without saying. But also you need to work on yourself. Then you have a beautiful life, happy life. So this is the thought flow, and he's building on that. Next paragraph, please.
The world can be classified broadly under its three constituents, namely wealth, people, and nature. That gave rise to three sets of workers dedicated to improving the world for the betterment of humanity. Those who worked on material resources, who organized them for the benefit of the society at large, are known as the economists. The economists focused their attention and expertise on material well being. Likewise, the second set of workers studied the peoples of the world and drew plans and programs to set up proper understanding and relationship amongst themselves. They are the politicians. The third category worked on nature. They also studied, investigated nature, and drew intelligent conclusions from it. They are the scientists. Thus, these three, economists, politicians, and scientists, worked upon the world to make it a better place for comfort, peace, and happiness of human beings.
See, again, important paragraph. So, world can be divided into three parts: wealth, people, and nature. It's a broad classification, and each of that can be improved. So, economists they deal with wealth. So that is like your CPAs or financial experts. You and I don't have that knowledge, so they know how to manage the wealth. Then politicians they know the knack of managing people. Political science, that's the subject some of you must have studied in school or university. And as far as nature is concerned, the scientists. So all three of them they have done an amazing job, and still it's an ongoing thing. So therefore you find so much of progress in the world, isn't it? I mean, what amenities we had 20 years back, 25 years back. I'm not going back 50 years. See, there's so much of difference. The phone, none of us would use iPhone 1. What is iPhone 1? I mean, I think it will be in a museum. But when it was introduced, I mean, wow, our jaws dropped. But within, I don't know, 10 years, 12 years, look at the technology. If you take cars, 3 years back, 4 years back, 5 years back, the autopilot was very basic. Yeah, okay, there's an autopilot, and okay, that's it. Maximum you could maintain distance between the car. That itself was, oh, wow. I don't have to slow down, the car slows down. But now you don't have to even touch the steering wheel. And what technology? GM Super Cruise, I'm talking about, Tesla autopilot, or in San Francisco, that car, what is it called?
Waymo, Waymo.
Yeah, I mean, amazing. I mean, you call the car, it comes, and you open the door, it takes you. I mean, you get scared. Oh my God, what's going to happen? 3 to 4 years, 5 years, it has happened. So definitely, there is so much of improvement. You know, comforts. So these three set of people, they're doing a great job. But the question is, that's what the next paragraph is. He wants us to ask ourselves that are you happy with all this progress? Progress is must. We are not saying there should not be progress. There has to be a progress. If you don't progress, I mean, you're dead. You know. But all these comforts, the progress which we are making, where are we heading? Let's find out.
The efforts of these well meaning workers have been successful in building an impressive world, far greater than what the past generations lived in. The quality of the external world has no doubt gone through a phenomenal change for the better, but the quality of life has deteriorated alarmingly. People all over suffer from worry and anxiety, distress and depression, confrontation and chaos. The serious problem confronting humanity is the lopsided development of the object world at the cost of the subject individual. The individual suffers from a total lack of attention, development, while the world continues to be improved upon. It is much like piling up delicious food on the dining table for a person suffering from indigestion and nausea. The ancient rishis, the spiritual stalwarts of India, discovered this paradox in life and focused their attention on the correction of the individual. They found human beings have lost their appetite to live. Delving deeper into their constitution, they found their intellect neglected, left barren. These profound visionaries thus directed their expertise on building, strengthening the intellect of the individual. And they gave out to the people the philosophy of Vedanta to rehabilitate the intellect and thereby reconstitute the human being. Thus, they created a balance between the individual and the world to bring about excellence of life.
Perfect. So in the previous paragraph, he said there is so much of progress in the world. There is progress, there is comfort, it's gone to a different level. But why aren't we happy in spite of this progress? It's not that we are miserable, but our happiness also should have increased because of so many comforts. It is exactly opposite. It is going down. There is stress, there is strain, there is worry, there is anxiety, there is depression. It has become quite common. So we think it is part and parcel of life. How many of us had heard about depression 25, 30 years back? Of course, we knew the word, but fine, somebody, a few people there were perhaps. It is becoming almost like a norm. So why it is so? Heart diseases, they were linked to people above 60 or 65. So even the youngsters is becoming quite rampant. So why still there is stress, worry, anxiety? Why there are conflicts in spite of so much of progress we are making? So this is because individual has been neglected. That's the whole point. So how do you take care of the individual? That is where the knowledge of Vedanta comes in. So it's nothing but knowledge of how to live life. Yeah, we're talking about the basic. Of course, the same knowledge can take you beyond a world. I mean, at that stage, if you reach that stage, I mean, doesn't matter. You could be in the worst of circumstances and it will not make slightest difference to you. But how many of us are in that, know, that high state? So therefore, we need knowledge of Vedanta. And that was the tradition in India, that this subject Vedanta was taught in a school. They used to call it Gurukul that time, in nothing but a school. And Vedanta was taught along with other subjects. It's not that they only studied Vedanta, whatever they studied mathematics, they studied geography, whatever subjects are. But right from the young age of 9, 10 onwards, children were exposed to this subject, Vedanta. And by the time they passed out, 1920, they were well equipped to face challenges of life. Since that tradition is lost, we find lopsided growth in all of us. It's a question of more or less. So, what is happening is you are beautifying the external world, but inner personality is not taken care of. I mean, those who are parents, they have to note down this point. Or if it is too late for you, at least your grandchildren, you must expose them to this knowledge. It's extremely difficult to convince any parent that their children need this knowledge. If you are convinced yourself, then you will put efforts so that your children are exposed to this knowledge. They have time for everything. If you go and talk to any parent, and we are not saying it is wrong. Meaning, like they will take their children for soccer match, they will take them for I don't know piano class, some drama class, and everything. Why not? But the moment you talk about, okay, we are offering these classes on Vedanta, there are no takers. And incidentally, it is free. We never charge in Michigan for this knowledge. And they will pay heavily, I don't know, hundreds of dollars, thousands of dollars for a piano class. We're not saying it is wrong, but what is being made available, which is free, there are no takers. And then they complain. This is the problem, that is the problem. The root, what is the root cause? That the individual is not taken care of. So you are beautifying the external world, but inner personality is not taken care of. It's a paradox. Why it is not taken care of? We are too busy living life. So busy that there is no time to examine how to live life. I mean, what a paradox, isn't it? So, are we okay with this topic? Beautifully, systematically, he has explained. So, you need to think about it.
I have one question, Amaji.
Oh, yeah, please.
So I understood in the first part where you said we have to take care of ourselves, and the way to do that is through the systematic study of Vedanta. How do we take care of the world?
See, once you improve yourself, or to the extent you improve yourself, automatically you will take care of the world. Taking care of the world is what? To begin with, your family. Forget about our world. World is your immediate family. So you will know how to be a good parent to begin with. Most parent, they are disqualified to have children. Most parents, they are like that. Yes, you have produced children. I mean, it's not a rocket science, but how many parents they know how to relate to their children? One in a million knows that. So how can you have a family without knowing how to manage a family? See, I'm not praising my parents, but this is what I've seen in my life. I mean, I never saw my parents arguing. Mother must have nagged my father, but maybe when we're not home, I don't know. But we never saw them arguing. You know, there's absolute peace at home. I mean, it's not that they were faking. I mean, they genuinely got along with each other. I know some of the families, parents are fighting like cats and dogs. I think we are unnecessarily spoiling cats and dogs. It's something beyond cats and dogs. They are like fighting and swearing. And I don't know. I've seen some 2 or 3 families, but I mean, personally, I was not a witness. But I mean, in one case, children told me that they parents they throw things at each other. China, glass, whatever is handy. I don't know. It could be mango. They just throw at each other. So, what kind of a parent you are? You get my point. Then, in your own profession, you will function perfectly. You will think about your profession, not just about yourself. So, when individual is taken care of, whatever role he plays in the world, he will do it perfectly. So they go hand in hand. Are you with me, Tim?
Yes, that makes perfect sense. We change ourselves, we change the world in which we exist in.
Perfect. See, when this like practical example, when this financial crisis happened in America 2008, every 10 years, 12 years it happens. And there was a fascinating article. And a very well known person, he wrote that article. So he said, who is bringing down these financial institutions? So we hire like youngsters from like best of schools, best of universities, and they are the ones who are bringing it down. So he's saying what's happening, what kind of youth, what kind of talent we are producing. Nothing wrong with these Ivy League schools. See, they are offering a knowledge of their subject, and they could be best in that. Why not? But they don't have the expertise to rehabilitate the personality. So young boy or girl goes out in the world and he messes up whatever profession he is in, and then there is a rippling effect. So you take care of the individual, the world is automatically taken care of. It's not world is not something different from you. You are the world. You are the part of the world. So if all of us are well established in this knowledge, whatever part of the world we contact, it will be automatically improved. So therefore, I give example of family to begin with. Nothing wrong with children. Sometimes I heard parents cursing their children. There is absolutely nothing wrong. They are innocent. You don't know how to relate to them. Therefore, problem arises in the family. No, in Bhagavad Gita, we all know that verse that whatever leaders do that's what the followers do. It doesn't matter what you say, what you do. So as a parent, if your life is based on these higher values, children will automatically emulate that. You don't have to educate them. There's no different education as far as higher values are concerned. You are a role model. So when a child is established in these values, he will become a better individual, and whatever he becomes, whatever part of the world he contacts, automatically it will be improved. So the onus lies on you and me. That's the whole point. It's a good question. So are we okay? Any doubts?
Amitji,
Yes.
is uncontrolled progress responsible for this high indulgent environment that also curtails the progress of the individual?
What do you mean by uncontrolled progress?
The external world progressing rapidly and making it more and more indulgent. So even if the individual is trying to, progress, that doesn't happen. Not able to. Is the indulgent environment also responsible for?
See, there has to be a progress.
Yeah.
So that goes without saying. And we can't say the progress has to be slow. It has to be, it could be rapid or whatever. World has to become a better place. Different technology and all that. So it has got nothing to do with the rate of progress.
Okay.
See, are you in a condition to relate to that progress? So that's the whole thing. So we're not saying it is required. But if the individual is not taken care of, then in spite of this progress, it will not help you. That's the point. See, the purpose of progress is what? When we are anybody is trying to improve the world, it is for comfort. It is for happiness. But the point is, this is what we are questioning. Are you happy with all that comfort, with all that all this technology? We're not saying it is wrong. It has to be improved. So nothing to do with the rate of growth. Is it making you happy? If individual is not ready, then any external progress will not make you happy. And indulgence, again, it is same. See, you have to have a powerful intellect to manage your mind. So you can't blame the world. See, for example, you have access to whatever, like media and so many different apps, we call it, on the phone.
Yes.
No, it depends on how you relate to that technology, your phone. Simple example. So you can't blame phone for that. Or there are too many apps. I wish there was only one app on the phone. Then I will not have any problem. Perhaps we need 10 apps, 20 apps, 30 apps. How you use it. So it's a beautiful tool. Technology is a beautiful tool, provided you know how to use it. Like Facebook, for example. I mean, it's a good tool to do something good. So we are also promoting our like Vedanta classes. Since you're part of us, you know Instagram, Facebook. So many people in America have been exposed to this knowledge. Like New York classes, Gautam's classes, 350, 400 people are attending it live, from all over America. Our classes also, 15, 20 people used to have in Bhagavad Gita class. So now there are at least 70, 80, 90. So many people watch lectures on YouTube. But the same Facebook can be used negatively to talk ill about others or whatever. So it boils down to intellect monitoring your mind. It is as simple as that, or as difficult as that to apply. So, was that your question?
Yes, Anuji. Just that, sometimes the progress seems so rapid and the indulgence just increases, even though the individual is trying to put effort, that he's not able to match that or, able to control. Like the Facebook, you start off good and then you get carried away into that. So many people happens. So probably like you said, the rate of progress, individuals is not prepared to meet that rate of progress.
No. Again, I'm saying it's nothing to do with the rate of progress. I mean, you talk to your girls, they may say it is slow.
Yes.
You and I become old, so
Yeah.
therefore we are not able to catch up with progress. For them, it is slow. Within 1 week, they will catch up with this technology. So, see, therefore, it's nothing to do with the pace of growth. This is what I am saying. Is do you know how to relate to the world?
Manage.
For that, you need intellect. It is intellect which has to manage the mind. See, to have television is a good technology. I mean, if you want to relax in the evening, half an hour, 1 hour, or whatever, you may watch something, whatever you like. But the same TV, you could get hooked onto it, like an addiction. 2 hours, 3 hours, like binge watching. You know, you may watch 1 or 2 episodes. Why not? And there are people who watch 7, 8 episodes in one go. You know? So you can't blame TV. So it boils down to your intellect managing your mind. So there is no external management. So, I mean, you know what I'm saying. Whether your intellect is managing your mind.
Yes. Thank you.
So are we okay? All right. So the next topic is action and peace. It's a very simple topic. And incidentally, this is the topic of our retreat next week. Action. That's the topic, right? We are doing next week.
Yes. Peace in action.
Peace in action. So let's find out. Yes.
Action and peace. The lopsided development of life has resulted in a paradox affecting the entire world. People all over are either active or peaceful. The active are not peaceful, the peaceful are not active. The Western countries are dynamic. As a result, they are productive and prosperous, but they have lost their peace of mind. They suffer from mental agitation and depression, whereas the Eastern countries like India are relatively peaceful, but they lack action, production, prosperity. The problem that the countries face runs through the communities and individuals as well. Even at the individual level, an active person is unable to handle the pressures of life and loses his mental equanimity, whereas a person living in a village remains content and peaceful in his modest home, but lacks action, production, prosperity. The paradox affects the human race. The solution lies in the development of the intellect. A powerful intellect alone can balance action with peace, render individuals, communities, and countries active externally while maintaining contentment and peace internally. The philosophy of Vedanta helps human beings develop the intellect and achieve this objective. One would then no longer depend on weekends and vacations for rest and peace. The great sage Swami Ramatirtha had pronounced to the world, intense work is rest. You must learn to find peace in action, not from avoiding action. You would then look forward for Monday mornings, not Friday evenings. TGIM, not TGIF.
So, action and peace do not coexist. This is applicable at collective level and also at the individual level. So, those who are active, those who are dynamic, they're not peaceful. Go by your own experience. You don't need third party telling this to you. The moment you give up action, even for the time being, you are peaceful. See, that's what people they experience. You know, they get so fed up, they're so stressed out. So they go on a cruise. 1 week, 10 days. They're happy. But once they come back from the vacation, what happens? And what Vedanta is telling us, they have to coexist. You should be active, you should be dynamic, but at the same time, you should be calm and composed, peaceful, content, happy. So, why this imbalance? Again, because individual is not taken care of. Your mind overpowers your personality. And then he's quoting Swami Ramatirtha. I think 1902 he made that statement in San Francisco. So he was lecturing. And a very famous businessman of that time, one of the richest man in America, he asked this question to him. Sir, I am disturbed. I want peace. What should I do? How do I find peace? So Swami Ramatirtha answer was, intense work is rest. He said, okay, you come with me to Himalayas, meditate with me. He said, intense work is rest. So if you cannot find peace in action, you cannot find peace anywhere else by abstaining from action. And we all are trying to find peace by abstaining from action. That's the problem. So therefore, lightheartedly is saying it should be TGIM, not TGIF. Thank God it is Friday. It should be thank God it is Monday. It should be other way around. And the best test is, see, find out how long it takes you to sleep when you hit the bed in the night. That's the ultimate test. You're checking your blood pressure, you're checking your sugar, you're checking your cholesterol, you're checking your eyesight, ears, whole body checkup. Annually we do. or do this simple test. It's a free test. You don't have to pay to anybody. How long it takes you to sleep when you hit the bed. Find out. If it is taking really long time, you know something is wrong with you. It can be fixed. It doesn't matter what is your state. But if you are relatively able to sleep quickly, then you know you are going in the right direction. You may study and study, do e-learning, attend lectures, go to temple, church. Why not? But what result it is producing? Are you becoming peaceful? And how do you know that? When you hit the bed, find out how long it takes. Swamiji gives that test. I mean, all of you know that. If he says if it takes anyone more than 20 seconds, something is drastically wrong with you. That's the word he uses. If we go by that test, something is super drastically wrong with all of us, not ordinary. None of us can claim that. But that's our capacity. So nowadays he has changed it from 20 seconds to 10 seconds because that's what it takes for him. You know, he said, "Don't misquote me. It's not 20 seconds. 10 seconds it should take you." So Vedanta gives that capacity to us. This is the point. You manage your family, you may manage the whole world. That was Tim's question. But end of the day, you should be peaceful. It is nothing to do with the quantum of work. That was Radha's indirect question. It's an offshoot. She has not asked that. You could be the busiest person in the world. But that quantum of work has got nothing to do with your inner peace. So it's not that you when you have 20% of, let's say, quantum of work, then you can be peaceful. So that 20% becomes 50%, then your peace will reduce. No, there is no such thing. If it is so, then I don't know. The CEO of a company will never sleep. He has all the responsibility, the busiest person. And what do? You just do a part-time job, work for 2 hours, then I will find peace. So it has got nothing to do with quantum of work. You may have all the obligations, you may face all the challenges. It boils down to your intellect managing the mind. And he is building on this thought flow, like step by step. So, what is the root cause? That why can't you find peace in action? The bottom line is selfishness. So, that's the next topic. Yeah, we have time. So, survey your predecessors.
Survey your predecessors. A Romanian proverb states, "The wise learn from the experiences of others, fools from their own." It is therefore in your interest to study, investigate the quality of life led by your predecessors and that of the present generation. Try to learn from their experiences. Follow those that are worth emulating and avoid those that are detrimental to your life.
Let's read one more paragraph.
For centuries, human beings have been focusing their attention wholly on gaining intelligence rather than developing their intellect. That has sheared the roots of the human structure, and the mighty titans that humans were have been dwarfed into bonsai. The present generation must take cognizance of the punch in William Wordsworth's observation, "What man has made of man when every flower enjoys the air it breathes." Learn from the blunder of your predecessors and let your personality grow into its full stature by developing a powerful intellect.
Let's complete the topic.
With the fall of the intellect, humans have en bloc turned self-centered, selfish. And the society has become unrighteous, immoral, corrupt. Individuals, communities, and nations are all operating with self-centered motives. The accent is on taking, aggrandizing, hoarding at the expense of others. Any individual, community, or nation that is driven by selfish motives perishes. And that built on selfless, humane values flourishes. It is a law of life. The past has been loaded with gross selfishness. The rate continues, which has brought humanity to the brink of extinction.
Extremely important topic. So when he says the wise learn from the experience of others, fools from their own, you don't have to suffer and then wake up. Most people, even after going through challenges and agitation, stress, strain, they don't, 99% don't wake up. So he's saying just look around you and learn from others' experiences. See, that is where to begin with this knowledge comes handy, because we learn the higher values. And it's not only Vedanta, even in classical literature, there are enough examples. That is why Shakespeare and Charles Dickens used to be taught in a school. I mean, that's what I studied while growing up in Bombay. I mean, in 8, 9, 10 grade, I was exposed to this characters in Shakespeare and Charles Dickens. 500 years back, he wrote it, isn't it? Like the Christmas Carol, we all know that, the character of Scrooge, and how he suffered is nothing but self-centeredness. Nicholas Nickleby, again, there's a fascinating movie. It's a very good novel by Charles Dickens. The character is Nicholas Nickleby. His uncle, Ralph Nickleby, highly self-centered guy. So in spite of having all the money in the world, miserable he was. Oliver Twist, the character of Fagin, we all know that, isn't it? Macbeth. Yes, he got the kingdom, but he never slept. So he says, I murdered my sleep, I murdered my sleep. So that's what he means. There is enough explanation of this disease of self-centeredness in the human society. So that's the bottom line. No self-centered person can be happy. No unselfish person can be unhappy. So learn from the scriptures, learn from these great philosophers, these higher values. You can learn from anybody, in fact. It could be your spouse, it could be a particular person. There are fine qualities in so many people. For that, your company is important. It boils down to that. If you surround yourself with indulgent, gross, self-centered people, I mean, where can you learn? So whatever be your source of learning, you learn and find out from your own experience and observation what is happening to people who are selfish. And then you come to your own conclusions. Don't go by their external paraphernalia. Internally, what is happening to them, they are torn apart. As a Vedanta teacher, I know when people they come sometimes, like some of the richest people or very well-to-do people, they come. I mean, I'm not saying everybody is like that, but good many of them, they are not able to sleep. So why you have to go through that? This is the point. If 500 years back, Shakespeare said, neither the borrower nor the lender be. I'm just giving you a few points. Now, you may say, no, I don't believe in that. I mean, look at the world, what is happening. It's a curse, this borrowing. As a nation, nations are ruining themselves. At an individual level, you may do that. Simple advice, neither the borrower nor lender be. Find out from people who are buried under the mountain of debt. And this is what we learned traditionally. We never borrowed. You know? That does not mean our parents or grandparents, they were on the street. They had everything. They bought whatever they wanted when they had finances. Otherwise, it is like a sword hanging on your head all the time. So you don't have to go through that. See, there are some well-wishers who want to build a center here, Vedanta Center. You know, they don't have any self-centered interest there. At least 6, 7 proposals have come to me. All the proposals they say borrow. Let's take a loan. Each time I say no. So they feel I'm not interested. No, of course, and that's the reason I have come to America. I haven't come for any personal reason. Thank God, Shakespeare's message: neither the borrower nor the lender be. Simple example. This is how you and I apply this in our day-to-day life. I think most of you have been to Vedanta Academy, at least some of you. I mean, sprawling campus, 26 acres, not even 1 cent was borrowed. And when Swamiji started ashram long time back, 30 years back, or maybe 35 years back, people said, Swamiji, your philosophy is one thing, real world is one thing, as if Swamiji doesn't know. He said, okay, you keep your real world, I'll keep my philosophy. Sprawling campus, there are, I don't know, 8, 10 building with all modern amenities. How did this happen without borrowing a single cent? And find out from people, you know, I mean, I live in West Bloomfield. There are some beautiful areas where I go for a walk, you know. Yesterday I saw, like, you know, at least 6 to 7 houses are for foreclosures, you know. Somebody mentioned it to me. Nice sprawling houses you see, you know. People don't have money to pay back. Duties versus rights, we often talk about it. Find out from your own experience what is happening in the relationship where both partners are claiming duties or other rights. It's falling apart. So you don't have to go through that. This is what he's saying. Learn from others' mistakes by observation. If your relationship is based on duties, it will flourish. Any relationship, to begin with your personal relationship, your relationship with your family, society, your nation. The moment you say, I want this from my country, it is the beginning of the downfall, yours and as well as your country's downfall. Religious fanaticism, what is happening? I mean, it's destroying the world. In the past, without getting into the details, read the history, all these crusades, what genocides were committed, what atrocities were committed against each other. For what? And same thing is happening even as we talk. I'm just throwing ideas at you. This is how you start thinking. Otherwise, you may not be able to get so much. So I'm just helping you to think. People flock to celebrities and rich and famous, you know. Find out what is happening to them. Some of them internally, they committed suicide, so many of them. I'm not saying every rich and famous and celebrity is like that. Some of them could be living these higher values. Why not? But young people or anybody for that matter, they want to emulate these celebrities. Nobody wants to find out what's happening to them. And in this classroom, so many times we have given examples, like Michael Jackson. What happened to him? Amazing talent. If you appreciate that talents, no man can dance like Michael Jackson, isn't it? There was only one Michael Jackson. There won't be another. But in spite of all that, he could not sleep. This is how he died. He wanted his doctor, I want to sleep. Give me something. Give me something. And I think got overdose. So what's the point of all that name, fame? Marilyn Monroe. Any woman would like to be born as a Marilyn Monroe. But would you like to commit a suicide? Ask yourself. With all that beauty, all that glamour, all that everything. So happiness is not in the external world. This is what we learn here. And this is how you find out by your own analysis, by doing your own research. And then you come to your own conclusion. So the bottom line is live an unselfish life. Doesn't matter who you are, what you are. You will be peaceful, you will progress in life, and eventually everything will be added on to you. Nothing will be lacking in your life. You'll be cheerful, you'll be happy, you'll be peaceful, there'll be harmony, there'll be progress in your life. All your material needs will be taken care of way beyond your needs. So what is it that what else you want? So therefore he's saying it's a curse. People en masse have become immoral, corrupt, unrighteous. This is what we see happening in the world, isn't it? Get more, that greed. And it's like a cancer, it is destroying us from within. So important topic. So go home and study. So I just threw 7-8 points at you. So it might help you to kickstart your thinking. So are we okay? Anything not clear from what we discussed today? All right, great. So have a wonderful Sunday. And
No class next week.
Yeah, Radha, yes.
No class next week. I mean, we don't have class next week because we'll be at the retreat.
Yeah.
So we'll resume class the Sunday after.
It's not we're not taking a break. In fact, we'll be more busy.
Yes.
Yeah. See you next week. Next to next week.
Thank you.
Thanks,
Thank
Amitji.
you.
Amitji.
Welcome.
Thank you.
Happy Mother's Day to everybody.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Well, thank you. Happy Mother's Day.
Happy Mother's Day.